I mean, have you ever been there? You give and you give, your time, your energy, everything. And what do you get back? Just another ask. It's that awful feeling, right? Where you just feel completely used and, honestly, a little resentful.
And look, if you know what I'm talking about, you know it's not just a one-time thing. It's this dangerous pattern. It's a really painful truth that, honestly, most kind people learn way too late, that your goodness can actually make you a target.
So that's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to explore the shocking cost of being too kind, and more importantly, how you can protect yourself without, becoming cynical. We're going to do it by looking at a really powerful story that I think holds a huge lesson for all of us.
Okay, so let's get into it. Our story is about this guy named Thomas. And Thomas, well, he's stuck in what I like to call the kindness trap. And it's exactly what it sounds like, right? It's that horrible place where your own generosity gets turned against you and you just feel stuck.
See, in this little village, Thomas was, well, he was a legend. He was the kindest man around. You know the type, the guy who would literally give you the shirt off his back, no questions asked. And he honestly thought that saying yes to everything was his greatest strength.
I mean, his kindness was just endless. He's up on Mr. Harrison's roof in the blistering sun. Does he get a thank you? Nope. Just, hey, while you're at it, my fence needs fixing. Then there's his buddy Robert, who's always asking for money and never, ever pays it back. And when the whole village needs a new well, who do you think they turn to? Of course, Thomas. And he builds it all by himself. It was like his kindness was this public utility that everyone just took for granted. So to everyone else, Thomas looks like this hero, this pillar of the community. But inside, he's completely falling apart, just hollowed out, a ghost running on fumes, totally haunted by everyone else's needs. And every single night, he'd just collapse, asking himself the same question over and over. Why do I feel so weak? Why does doing all this good feel so bad?
And that's the tragic irony, isn't it? He believed his goodness was this shield that kept him safe and loved. But it wasn't a shield at all. It had become his prison, a prison he built himself, one yes at a time.
But just when Thomas is at his absolute lowest, something changes. A wise old merchant comes to town. And this merchant, he sees right through it all. He sees past the forced smiles and the helpful gestures, and he sees the exhaustion in Thomas's eyes. And he gives Thomas this piece of advice that just changes everything. He tells him, kindness without strategy is not kindness. It's self-destruction. Wow. Think about that. The problem isn't being kind. The problem is when your kindness becomes a blank check with no limits.
So, the merchant basically lays out two different paths. On one hand, you've got this self-sacrificing kindness, right? The path Thomas was on. You say yes to everyone, you feel trapped, you get completely burned out, and people stop valuing your help. But then there's another way. Strategic kindness. This is where you actually choose who and when to help. It's a gift, not a prison. It protects your energy. And because it's not a given, people actually value it.
Okay, so this new idea just clicks for Thomas. And he decides right then and there that things have to change. This is the turning point, you guys. This is where we see him try to put this into practice and discover the incredible power of one tiny little word. And of course, the universe doesn't wait long to test him. The very next day, who shows up at his door? Mr. Harrison. And he's not even asking, he's just assuming. Thomas, ready to fix my fence today? But this time, Thomas takes a deep breath, and he just says it, no. And that one word, it lands like a thunderclap. You can just imagine the silence, right? Mr. Harrison is completely stunned. But Thomas, for the first time in forever, he feels calm, in control. All right, so round two. Next up is Robert, asking for money again. And when Thomas says no, Robert pulls out the ultimate guilt trip. You've changed, Thomas. You're not the kind person you used to be. That's the line, isn't it? That's the emotional blackmail that keeps so many of us trapped. But the old Thomas is gone. The new Thomas doesn't even flinch. He just looks Robert in the eye and says, "You're right. I have changed. I'm no longer kind to people who don't respect my kindness." Boom. That's it. That's the moment he takes his power back. He's setting the terms now.
And you know what? In that moment, all that weight he'd been carrying, the crushing weight of everyone else's expectations, it just vanished. He felt free. And he realized freedom isn't just about doing what you want.
It's about having the power to say no to what you don't want. So what happens next? This is the big question, right? Does the whole village turn on him? Does he become an outcast? Or does something else happen entirely? Well, something really strange happened. He didn't get ostracized. Instead, he gained respect. It turns out, when you set boundaries and value your own time, other people start to value it too. It's amazing how that works.
So that's what this is all about, this strategic kindness. It's not about being mean or selfish. It's about being smart. It's about treating your own time and energy like the precious gifts they are. You help the right people at the right time in the right way. You can't be everything to everyone, and you have to accept that that is perfectly okay.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Well, it comes down to 3 things. Pillar number 1, protect your energy. You've heard it a million times, but you really can't pour from an empty cup. You have to recharge. Pillar 2, choose wisely. Give your energy to people who appreciate it, not to the ones who just exploit it. And number 3, probably the most important, value your yes. Because when you say no sometimes, your yes actually means something. It becomes special again.
And really, just think about this quote for a second. One person who respects your kindness is worth more than 100 who take advantage of it. It's about quality, not quantity. It's about investing in the right relationships and letting go of the ones that are just draining you dry.
Listen, I get it. The idea of saying no, especially when you're used to saying yes, is terrifying. It can feel so selfish. But I really want you to hear this. Protecting yourself is not selfish. It's wise. It's necessary.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Take a look at your own life. Right now, is your kindness a weakness, or is it a power? Is it something people take for granted, or is it a gift you give with intention? The choice, as you now know, is entirely yours.